Hi, Perry.
Hey, what's up? Hey, everybody, how y'all doing?
I wonder if can you hear me? Do you hear echo?
No, I can hear you fine.
Okay, good. Uh, if I start to echo, let me know. Did you turn your sound down?
Yeah, I did. I'm trying to turn it down a little bit. Maybe it's me or something.
I might need to do mine too. Okay, you guys. So I was talking about this a little bit earlier in the video I did earlier today that Sharrell has a new sponsor, Alia Wine. Now, if you guys watch my videos, oh my God, Perry, people know I love my wine. This is not a joke.
Sharrell,
And
put that. Yeah, go ahead.
you love your beer.
Okay.
We do. We do. We relax. I always have a glass of wine. Perry might have beer, especially when we do our show after dark. That's like anytime after 6 o'clock. So this is a black owned business. So I was really, really excited to get to partner up with them. Ilia Wine it's really good. You guys are gonna see me drinking this all the time. It's so good.
Yeah,
Especially
the beer is off the chain though.
yeah, and they have beer. We're going to do that on our other upcoming video after dark, where I'm actually going to uh, be drinking it because every day I like to unwind with a glass of wine. Do you remember when we were on Sharrell's World and we would have our wine and it was
Okay.
crazy, wasn't it?
Yeah. When it was wind down Wednesday and everything. Yeah, all that good stuff.
Anyway, if you guys want to join us after dark, order the wine. You get a pro if you use the promo code world, what was it? World
Yeah.
10,
Hmm.
then you get a 10% discount. And most likely, you guys got to join us, get the wine, get the beer, and then we do it the way we do it. We've been doing this for years, haven't we?
Yeah. I mean, and the only thing they have to do is not hard. They can scan the barcode, the QR code right there at the top right. Go right to the website. People, I'm telling you, I'm a Heineken
Join us.
man and I drink this certain kind of beer, but people, it has changed my life.
Oh
Okay, just saying. And
my
what's the word the young kids say? No cap.
no cap. Oh,
No
you did
cap.
not say
No cap.
that. I need 10 glasses. Now, me and Perry, we always unwind. And now that we're doing the members only, we're going to kick back just like the old days. As a matter of fact, some of these stories that we're going to tell this week is like the old days. Okay. It's crazy. I knew it was happening every time. My life gets crazy. But anyway, so shout out to my new sponsors. I'm really, really excited about that. And they must have seen our videos when we kick back.
Right.
Remember how you used to do it? It's crazy. Anyway, we got not much going on today, right? We got a lot of little stories that everybody's talking about. And so I usually wouldn't cover some of these stories because it's just too controversial, but it's nothing else to talk about. And if you know, thank you, Rochelle, for signing up, becoming a member. I appreciate it.
Yeah,
If
thank you.
you are one of my ride or dies, I have not been working in 3 days because it was just nothing to talk about. So I was like, I'm tired of forcing it. I'm just going to stay off. So today I had to come on. So I got a lot of little stories that I ordinarily would have stayed away from. We're going to talk about the woman responsible for Emmet Till being unalived. She
Right.
passed away today, and people's reaction. You can't blame people's reaction if
It's,
you
it's probably the same as mine.
yeah, that it's bad. And then we're gonna talk about Jerry Springer again, just because Jerry Springer was around early in our marriage. Do you remember this period when we lived on Catalina Circle?
Every day.
Every day.
It,
Didn't you love Jerry
it
Springer?
was do not miss. I mean, you just couldn't miss it. Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, I didn't know that people loved him as much as we do. So that's all everybody's talking about. We're gonna talk about that. Brittney Griner speaks today before her first game. I've never heard her talk. Have you heard her talk before?
Not much, but a little bit, yes.
Anyway, you could tell she was scarred from what happened to her. How long was she over there? About a year and some change?
If it was a whole year, it could have been close to a year somewhere. But look,
Yeah.
too damn long when you in those kind of prisons and under them circumstances.
We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about Jada Pinkett Smith's show, Red Table Talk, being canceled. how
Mm-mm-mm.
it's gonna be picked up by MTV, and we're also the same day that Jaden Smith comes out as gay. Okay, and then we're gonna talk about Steve Harvey. This is crazy because Steve Harvey, I don't like him. Okay, and I don't want to make you guys not like him, but I don't like him. Uh, he's blaming going broke on his wife before Marjorie, Mary.
Mm-hmm.
And the story doesn't make sense to me. I'll say that. Then he's going to talk about Bernie Mac and his fallout because he gave an interview on Shannon Sharp's show, and he's just not being accountable. Okay, like
Wow.
just stop. Like we might push that up to the top. Let me get this Carolyn Dunham story out the way. The lady responsible for. Oh, I got so much going on up here, child. Should I show the picture of Emmet
Yeah.
Till?
Yeah. For people who don't know.
Who doesn't know?
Well,
Okay.
I know. I mean, it just, you know what though? You can know something, but
Mhm.
it's so far back in memory, it
Okay.
brings it back to why people feel the way they feel today.
Let me put it up here on the screen. It's everywhere. Her name is Carolyn Donham. That's her married name. I don't remember. Oh my God, these. I mean, people are really coming out in groves for Jerry Springer. I guess he was just a part of Generation X, and everybody loved Jerry Springer. And we knew what we were going to get when we watched the show. We did not expect anything different.
Right, right, right.
Uh
Yeah.
huh. Here we go. This is a terrible, terrible story. This story takes place just in case you live under a rock and forgot what happened with the Emmet Till situation. This is terrible, really terrible. This all started in 1955. Perry, how long ago was that?
55, 45, 78
Long,
years. Yeah, somewhere around there.
a long time ago. This all started in 1955. Emmet Till was visiting from Chicago, visiting his family in Mississippi, in a town called Money, Mississippi. Uh, Carolyn said that he whistled on her and was like coming, flirting with her. She told her husband, who got his uncle, her uncle, and they unalived him. There's no other way to put it. They unalived
Wow.
him. Then later on in life, I would say maybe 2003, someone was doing a book about the situation. A Caucasian man was doing a book about it, and she admitted to him that she had lied.
Mm-mm-mm.
That the boy did not, Emmett Till did not make sexual advances to her, whistle at her. She wanted some attention from her husband. I hate
Man.
regurgitating,
Yeah.
just bringing up this stuff because it was so painful. Here he is before the beating and when he was alive and well. Look what they did to his face.
See.
So back then, uh, there was no social media. So Emmett Till's mom decided to invite photographers, and she decided to have a public open casket funeral. And it had a huge effect on the world because when you look at that, just look at this little boy's face. He was
Mm-hmm.
13 at the time. And then, oh, I hate talking about it, but we got to talk about it. And then they acquitted her husband and her uncle. And then all those years later, she admitted that she was lying.
Yep.
And she said that she felt bad. She said that boy, she said, these are her words, that boy didn't deserve that. She said he was a victim and she was a victim.
Well, her
This
being
is
the
what
victim. Yeah.
I'm
Okay.
just telling you what she said. She was a victim and she lived in fear because if she told anyone the truth, she feared for her family and herself. Now, Can you do something like that and not feel any kind of remorse or? And I think you can. And the reason
Okay.
I think you can, it's called a narcissist personality. You're only worried about yourself. She didn't want to get caught or tell the truth because she would look like the monster that she is.
Uh-huh.
And I feel that she went on with her life. And the only reason she revealed what she did because she felt comfortable with the other white person that was going to write the book, and he
Uh-huh.
did the right thing. And then so he turned the information over. They also found a arrest warrant. At some point, they knew that they probably should have had done it, arrested her, but they didn't.
Uh-huh.
And so, at least, if there's any justice in this, is that what 60 years later we got the truth of how she lied,
Hmm.
and they wanted to indict her last month. I think it was last month, but she was already in hospice with cancer. Hope people saw show up at the funeral. They showed up in groves, lines and line. This was before 24-hour news. This was before social media. This was before
Hmm.
everybody had a camera. So it had a much bigger impact because you didn't know what you were going to see. You just know that she said it was open casket. And then when you looked in that casket and you saw his face,
Yeah.
and it's
When
very important to say this, and I have to say this now because we are living in very touchy times. I feel that racism is back to where it was in the 60s. So it's very important for me to say, because it's very easy if you get mad. I mean, if you are treated unfairly by a white person, it's very easy for some people, not all, to blame the whole race. We're not blaming the whole race. Even back then, there were people, white activists that helped.
right.
Racism, it doesn't reside in everybody, and we have to remember that. Both sides, it doesn't reside in everybody. It has a tendency to reside in the old because that's how they were brought up. But I feel like because of politics, the race issue is coming back. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I
We
feel you.
got, yeah, with all the Benjamin Crump stuff and all the people, it's just a mess. And I think it's something that will never, ever go away. I think it's more for maybe 40 and up. No, not even 50 and up. They're racist. And it's no getting it out of that.
Hmm.
And same for the black people. If you meet a black person 50 and up that went through this, that lived
Right.
through it, and
Hmm.
seen things like that, they're very, very leery of where they go, what they say, who they trust. Have you noticed that?
No, that's a fact.
It's like
Yeah.
if you talk to your grandfather, he'll be like, "This happened to me. This happened to me, Perry. When I went to North Carolina, to your hometown, I was talking to
Uh-huh.
your grandfather, and he was talking about how the Klan was having a march in High Point, North Carolina, and don't
Yeah.
go here, don't go there." So
I grew up in that life. I mean, like when I was a kid, they used to have these marches, and back then people didn't lock doors. You outside playing. Or when they come to town
thank
like
you,
that,
Selena, for becoming a member.
our mother will always say, "No, no, no. We had to stay in the houses for those 1 or 2 days." Just and that's the
Will it
life we
ever
had to
go
live.
away?
No, no, it would never go away because it's always going to be somebody that try to capitalize it and reinvent it. Now,
But what I try to do is, you're right. Sorry, go ahead.
I just feel like the younger kids are more like it's more easy for them to understand different race, but the older people
Mhm,
use that and fill their heads up with um what is it, like racial
mhm.
intentions and stuff like that. Like it's fed down. You know what I'm
And
saying?
this is why I make it very important on my channel. I cover black, white, because first of all, that's my world. My nephews are biracial. My sisters, their father is white. And oh, we got all kind of races in our family.
Hmm.
But I feel like politics polarizes people. I feel like injustices does. Like when we
Right.
seen, what's the guy, he put his foot on the neck?
George Floyd.
It's just very, very
Yeah.
touchy. And but I try to remind everybody, not all of society's like that. It's real easy to get caught up both ends to think, I hate white people. All they do is mean stuff to me, or I
Right.
hate blacks. They're uneducated. What's that? What's that? Marjorie Taylor Greene,
Yeah.
the politician
Okay.
who said, remember I played you that yesterday?
hmm
I wonder if I had this. It's just, we're living in very,
And Sharrell, she know what she's doing though. She's fueling the fire.
she's fueling the fire.
Right. That's the whole thing. And it happened in, in every race. You can get somebody either really super just super out for their race, and they're getting mad at somebody else. Not everybody is racist. And I'm a black man.
Yeah, but do you think politics pushes that?
No, it do. That what sells. That what drives the vote.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
And the people who preaching it probably can care less about what they're preaching. They just need to motivate these people to form their army.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Mm-hmm. It's crazy. So that's what happened. And of course, a lot of black people are coming forward, talking about it. When you're black too. So white people don't understand this. And it happens over and over and over again. You get tired.
Right.
And so I don't think nobody that I've talked to feels sorry for her. This was because of you.
Right.
And and it feels like she didn't even pay the price for what happened, but we don't know what goes on behind closed doors or in somebody's head. And that's the worst kind of punishment, is when you're suffering on the inside and nobody knows.
Right.
But and I'm not pushing religion on anybody. I'm not religious. I'm spiritual, and I believe heavily in karma. So we don't know what happened to her in her life, but you had to be living a sad life to begin with. That this is how you get attention from your husband.
Well, yeah. And I ain't gonna say so much how sad her life was at that time, but I'm telling you, me and you used to always have this talk, and I used to argue down. I used to always say, at a certain point in somebody's life, they would feel remorseful. And I had to come back to you a couple years ago, and I was like, "Hey, you know what? I got to change my mind. I don't change my mind," because I used to always think you're gonna have that one night where people get remorseful. No,
Mm-hmm.
some people don't. Her life wasn't sad; she was just greedy, right? And so used to having her way. That if I say this, I get more attention from them. But it's not that she had a sad life, because let's keep it real. During those days, she wasn't black.
Yeah, but you don't know what happens
Well,
behind
yeah,
closed
no, I
doors.
know. I'm saying I don't know, but I'm not gonna give her that pass. Right?
Gotcha.
I'm not gonna give her that pass. I don't know, but I
Mhm.
just know this: that yeah, we can say, well, she could have struggled through her life, 88 years or 83, whatever she was, right?
Oh, it's 80, yeah.
I think it could have been 88, but we know he's no longer here and been gone for a long time because of something she started.
Yeah.
And it's sad to say, that's the only justice we do
88.
get,
Mm-hmm.
because nobody was arrested. She lived her life. His family struggled. You know what I'm saying? Could you
Mm-hmm.
imagine his family life? Just the beating he had to take. It's just ridiculous.
It is what it is. So that's what everybody's talking about today, and then they say that they really rather talk about Jerry Springer. Did I bring the picture this time? And everybody is going around on social media talking about their favorite episodes of Jerry Springer. It's crazy. I used to say, do you remember I used to say this, Perry? I said, if anybody called me and they'd say, hey, Trina, because I went by Trina
Yeah.
that day, this is the Jerry Springer show, I would hang up.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
I would never wanted to go on Jerry Springer, because after a while we knew what it was about. Schmoopy says, as a country, we need to override those who want to divide us. We do. This is a country of good people, and it is. And we have to remember that. It's like the bad people do things so bad that they get all the attention, and good
Exactly.
people don't. The amount who are trying to divide us are minimal. That's true. It's our media pushing the races. What's that say? Trope? What's that say, Perry? Right here.
Trophy narrative.
Narratives.
Narratives.
I agree. I agree. But now, especially now too, that we're on a 24 cycle news cycle, we have social media, and it's just, I feel like maybe during the 90s, it wasn't like it is now. Reaching a feverish pitch. That's how I feel. So
Yeah.
thank you, Lori, for becoming a member. Come on in, do my members only, have some wine. Let's try to do that today. If you're not going live, we'll try members only.
Okay. Okay.
All right. So, but R.I.P. Jerry Springer passed away 79, and everybody now is flooding Twitters with their favorite Jerry Springer moments. I probably have so many I can't even remember.
It was too many for me. I
was
love
too
damn
many.
near every episode. I did.
Yeah. He was a mayor. He was just unique. But he understood what it was. This is fluff. This is,
Yeah.
I'm not trying to be Oprah, and he never tried to be Oprah or anybody. It's just when you watch that, there was that early 20s college crowd, and then grandmas like me who I couldn't stop watching.
Yeah.
It was very good. So
You know,
R.I.P. Jerry.
You be sitting there talking to a person, unique. So what happened in a relationship and everything? Oh, by the way, we had them out back.
It was
You
great.
need to
Look
bring
at
them
what
out? Okay.
Selena says. I went on Jerry's Springer. It was the best time of my life. Oh,
I
you
bet.
gotta call in. You gotta call in.
I bet.
Oh, can you imagine if we would have went? But I think the show was taped in Chicago. Am I right?
I think so.
I
don't
think it was
LA.
taped in Chicago.
Yeah.
Selena, you gotta come up and tell us what happened. Who got their wig pulled off? Who jumped over a chair? It was so good. And then at the end, later on, after the beginning years, I would say 20, maybe 15 years into it, he put a stripper pole on the side. Did you see that, Vera?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Oh my God, so
Yep.
good. So we'll share our Jerry Springer moments. Let's move on to, what time is it? Let's move on to Steve Harvey. When I want to remind you guys, when I come on here and give my side of the story, tell you what happened, and then give my opinion. I know a lot of other bloggers don't do that, but I do, because I feel like it sparks good conversation. I can learn from others and vice versa. So when I say I don't like a person, I'm not trying to fight with you and mean that I will never change my mind either. Some people, if I say I don't like somebody they take it so personal.
Mhm.
Oh no, you just, but I genuinely do not like Steve Harvey, and it doesn't mean you have to not like him too. I'm just telling you how I feel.
Right.
And he just makes the hairs on the back of my neck stand up. I don't like him for a lot of reasons. Okay. So recently, I think it was a couple days ago, Tasha K interviewed Marjorie. I don't like Marjorie either. Sorry. I think she's a gold digger. That's my opinion. It's not set in stone. I'm not going to hate them for the rest of my life. I don't know. But right now, I don't like him. I think Steve Harvey is a fraud for me. I do acknowledge he says very smart things. He gives good advice. His show, he gives really good advice. And, there is a funny side to him. But for me, I don't care about his comedy. He just pisses me off. And I think he pisses me off because of the whole Bernie Mac thing. So he did an interview with Shannon Sharp. Now, who else did I go to? Shannon or his brother?
It's Shannon Sharp, Sterling. You went to Sterling's house.
Okay, I went to Sterling's house. Okay, so I don't know Shannon Sharp.
Right.
So Shannon Sharp is a ex-football player, easygoing guy. He has the show. Candy Burris went on the show, and Steve Harvey goes on the show. And so they're talking, and it's a real kickback. I don't know if they drink or not. That's Drink Champs. But it's like the atmosphere of Drink Champs. And he's interviewing Steve Harvey. And I'm gonna say, I'm not sure. Tasha K interviewed Marjorie's ex. I believe he went to jail for drugs. Alleged drug
like
dealer.
that.
Yeah. I'm going to play a clip from him. He was saying that he wasn't fond of Steve Harvey. Okay. And where is that clip? Let me play this clip. He's not fond of. I believe he called him a snake, and I see that too in Steve Harvey. Let me play this clip. Oops. Now I don't know how a drug addict has the audacity to call me a snake, but he did.
He was saying that he was talking about Jason when Jason was about 15 years old. Jason was kind of rebellious, my son Jason. He told that link, he was saying that he was talking about Jason when Jason was about 15 years old. Jason was kind of rebellious, my son Jason. He told Steve Harvey one day, "You're not my father. Jimmy Townsend my father." He told Jason, "I love your mama, so I got to love you. Where's that punk ass, dad of yours?" So I don't know if it was from insecurity or what. Could have been. I think you're a multi-millionaire. I ain't nobody. You ain't got to worry about me.
I mean, you do look better than him.
I think so too. When Marge and I was together, she used to hate. See, that's what I'm saying. I'm gonna tell it all. I'm telling all y'all. She said and it was fact. She used to check dudes with big lips. She was called soup coolers.
Okay, so he was just talking about his disdain for Steve Harvey. How Steve Harvey pretends to love his children. That's Lori Harvey's brother. I believe his name is Jason. And how he acts like a caring, loving father in public. But you just heard what he said, that he told the son, "Well, I gotta love you because I love your mama." Right. He doesn't talk about the turmoil that's going on behind the scenes between Steve Harvey and his family. They say Steve Harvey's children say that he favors Lori Harvey because he wants to make Marjorie happy. He ignores them. The children are not speaking to each other. I'm talking about Lori and the other ones. Jason's somewhere in the middle. He goes back and forth, allegedly. And how Steve Harvey, in my opinion, pretends to be a good guy, but he's not. So he's on Shannon Sharp's show, and he's talking about the fallout between him and Bernie Mac. And everybody knows why he fell out with Bernie Mac. But he says he fell out with Bernie Mac because they were doing the tour, Kings of Comedy. Okay, they were actually on the road for it, and he was getting burnt out, and he had to rewrite some jokes. And one time he asked Bernie if Bernie could they could reverse roles and he can go at the end, and because you don't have to work as hard. And Bernie said no. Now, we all know that is not why they fell out, because Bernie didn't want to carry his weight. The rumors are you fell out with Bernie Mac because you became jealous of Bernie Mac. When you guys did the Kings of Comedy, he felt in his head, Steve Harvey, that Bernie was getting the most laughs. Then he came out with that show. I can't remember the show. The Bernie Mac show. Yeah. And then he did Ocean's 11 and he did Charlie's Angels. Steve Harvey went behind Bernie Mac's back and tried to get the job, try to get them to fire Bernie Mac and hire him. And this came from Bernie Mac's wife. And it's just type it in. That's what he did. So Steve Harvey to me is a liar. Steve Harvey thinks about Steve Harvey. We all know how you left your second wife, Mary. You left her for Marjorie. Okay. She used to do interviews about it. He said that he wouldn't give me money. He cut off all the credit cards. She was everywhere crying, talking about it, that he gained custody over Winton because when he went to go see her, went to go pick him up, she wouldn't let him go. And so he won custody over Winston, the son. And she just described him as a monster. So here he is in an interview saying that he went broke because of Mary. I swear to God, I'm going to play the clip for you.
Yeah.
First of all, you've dragged her through enough. Okay? And now you're going to say that she stole money from you and some manager stole money from him. Stop talking about it. How many years have you been married to Marjorie at this point, who is a homewrecker? She is. You were cheating with her. This is why you left Mary. And she wouldn't be going around crying to all the blogs if she stole your money. Thank you, Rodrigo, for becoming a member. I appreciate it. We're going to go on. We got a lot to talk about.
Okay.
On
That's good. Yeah.
So let me play this clip. What did I do with this clip? Let's listen to this. I can't with Steve Harvey. And he never talks about how his children are not speaking to him because of Lori Harvey. Why don't we talk about that, Steve?
He don't want to talk about that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Let's talk about you giving her all your attention and then ignoring your bios.
Everything twice.
Yeah.
In 2005, you had $1,700 left. This was after Kings of Comedy.
Yeah.
You got $1,700 after you made, what, like $30 million on that tour?
Dog, we made more than that.
What the hell happened to the money?
Yeah. It's called a divorce. I got jumped on, man, but it was even before the divorce. Cause, not gonna say who did it, but they got in cahoots with my financial planner. And I was writing checks to the government for 7 years. Writing tax checks, signing the tax checks, giving them to turn in. They was keeping them, taking the money out the account like I was paying taxes and keeping it for themselves. When my accountant passed, a lady went in the office and found a box on the floor, and I had 7 years of unpaid taxes. And I'm thinking I'm even. And then my lawyer said to me, you ain't paid taxes in 7 years.
Ooh, so you haven't paid in 7 years plus the interest.
Then I had saved some millions, but before I split the assets, she took all of that out the bank, moved it. The divorce was over.
Right.
It was just, let's split the assets, but you took all the assets.
Right.
And I was stuck with this tax bill. So I had to pay 7 years of back taxes with interest and get current. I was in a world of trouble, man. When I looked up, I had $1,700.
Okay.
I don't believe that shit.
You mean to tell me, Steve Harvey, that Mary stole from you millions, he said millions, after the divorce, and you didn't sue her to get your money back? You didn't talk about it in the media? You didn't do anything but just worked harder? I can't with Steve Harvey. I cannot.
I don't get it neither, because he'll come across, and I think he's like a con artist, that he'll say the right things to make you believe you that person that the other person want him to be, right? So he'll play these roles like acting. But to come out and have this much intelligence like you want to put out here and have all this, why wouldn't you have noticed that your taxes wasn't paid for 7 years? Why wouldn't you have noticed that they were starting to take millions out the bank? And ain't no damn well that I'm gonna sit here and think that you only had $17,000 when you came off this damn tour.
That's what he said.
Because
not 1,700, not 1,000.
Oh, yeah. Well,
Steve Harvey, I can't with you. Listen, I would have bought, okay, I didn't pay my taxes. My accountant didn't pay my taxes for 7 years and passed away. I would have bought that. But why do you keep humiliating Mary? I want to call her Harvey. I don't know if she went by her maiden name anymore. Why do you keep trying to humiliate your ex-wife? You got Marjorie talking about her like a dog. And don't forget, you stole her man. I'm not getting it. Bernie Mac, you didn't even have to tell this story again. We all know the story by now. You know why we know? Because he talked about it. He's no longer with us. And you're still going to tell that lie that he didn't want to carry his weight on the Kings of Comedy? I can't with him. I cannot with Steve Harvey. That's why your family life is for shit right now. Because for me, my family life is good, not just when I'm happy, not just when Perry's happy, my damn children. Okay? If my kids aren't speaking to me, something's wrong. Something's really wrong. If they're coming to me saying, why are you giving her all the attention? Like, I didn't even know Lori had a brother, because we just hear Lori this, Lori that. We know she's the apple of Marjorie's eye, and she's a gold digger in training. Lori's this, Lori's that, Lori's this, Lori's that. Lori have been through how many men? I'm not going to start on Lori, okay? and friend hopping. Like for me, that was a no-no. If I'm dating a friend and we break up, if I'm dating somebody, we break up, I'm not going to be with your man your friend 3 weeks later. I don't do that. Now, I don't know what kind of, you guys might say if it's over, it's over. For me, I'm old school. That's trifling. I am not.
Yeah.
How do I look? Hanging out with Perry at the time, my boyfriend. We break up, and 3 weeks later, I'm with his bestie. It's just a mess. I don't like Steve Harvey. I don't like Marjorie and Lori. I don't know if I like her or not, but they push her in my face so much till I can't take her anymore. I just can't. And after a while, when you break up, you probably have a 3 to 6 months grace period where you can talk about the ex. 10 years later, I don't give a damn anymore. Stop talking about it. That's just how I feel.
Well, you got that. I mean, like I said, I'm saying this too. Relationships come and they go. So it's not that saying he should have stayed with her, but it's the lying for me.
That
you
part.
Me, I gave him credit for 17. You said 1,700 after this damn tour. So if he was been on that tour for another damn week, if he would have slid his card through a Burger King thing, his card would have got declined. Look, let's stop the bullshit. Like, I'm just saying, look, whatever happened, I'm not saying you was wrong. Hell, your ex could have been doing it doesn't matter. But now it's like later, now you trying to say this person has destroyed your whole life. Now, bad relationship happened. But all those years, why didn't we hear about that then?
And also too, Bernie stopped talking to you. He stopped talking to you. If you were such a good friend and he was such a good guy, why didn't you straighten that out? But then you show up at the funeral and now you want to be in the funeral. Bernie's wife let him because why, she was going through a terrible time. It was an unexpected death. But, for Steve Harvey, and I'm only talking for myself. People say, why do you, because I like to tell how I feel. Steve Harvey's full of shit. I'm not making anybody like him or not like him. I'm just telling you my opinions and stop dragging her. You already divorced her. Okay. This is her words. Took money from her, wouldn't give her child support and all that. Took her son from her, took her pride. And here you still are doing it 10 years later. Steve Harvey, please have several seats and shut up, you bubble lip. Okay, never mind.
Yeah.
So that's my Steve Harvey story. Let's move on. What we got? Red Table Talk, Steve Harvey, Carolyn, Jerry Springer, Jada Pinkett Smith. Okay. Oh, she's another one. Okay. I feel, that doing Red Table Talk was one of the worst things Jada Pinkett Smith ever did. Because she didn't expose others, she exposed herself. And a lot of times when people reveal who they are, you say, that's refreshing. Because if I can sit down and tell you my flaws, I respect you just from doing that. Just like, I stole the money, I robbed the bank, I had to go to jail. This is what I was feeling at the time. I really respect people that open up and tell the truth, their way, except for Jada Pinkett. Her truth made me not like her. Even worse, okay? I like, girl, the entanglement, shut up. You're so self-centered and full of yourself. The entanglement was like, that was your son's friend. Okay, did you forget that part? That's like, I have a 19-year-old son, Damien. If Damien brought home a friend, that's like me dating Gabe.
I know.
I look at all my son and his friend as the younger generation. Thank you, Candy, for becoming a member. Thank you, Kim, for becoming a member.
She go and pick up the kids and his friend from football practice. All right, son, you go in there and shower up. Hey, young man, you need to come back here with me. Now, come on, that's some freaky shit.
It was just a mess. And then she didn't say that she had an affair. It was an entanglement. She plays word games. And what else did I learn on that show? That Jayden, what's his name? Jayden got emancipated at 15. That the daughter called her mother selfish. Like, she shouldn't have done this show. It made me not like her. And I feel, and if I drop the link, some people may have different opinions, that after the slap, I think she had a worse reputation than Will, because she acted like for weeks like it didn't matter. We all seen you laugh, even though you're trying to say that you didn't, that you were shocked. Girl, we saw you laughing. We seen Will look at you before he walked up there, seen him looked at you when he sat back down. And we saw you smirk. I don't like this woman. I think she's a narcissist. Now, do I know technically is she a narcissist? No, I just don't like her. And I'm glad that the show was canceled. But I'm sad to hear that MTV might pick it up. I don't want to see Jada for a couple years. Okay, I don't want to hear about your entanglements, your freaky lifestyle, you going both ways. I don't care. Okay, girl, just go find a seat with Steve Harvey and get out the public eye. I can't with these two. And then also today,
huh?
Go ahead, Perry.
Oh no, I would say you could be right though about her reputation, right? Because at a certain point through that whole thing, I think she was exposed, and people started to look at her as you this type of woman, and you know, is the big reason Will
would not have put his hands on Chris but for Jada. He's stupid enough to try to please this woman. He should have been divorced her, by the way. Like, Will Smith, get it together, get rid of her, and do what you're gonna do. But I just don't like her. And you know, that's the first time that I didn't respect somebody coming out being their authentic self. Go back in the closet. I don't care what you do or what you have to say. I don't.
And so basically, and then like she's one of those people too that use these words. Like if I came out and said I cheated, people looking at me and they understand me perfectly clear that I cheated. Ain't got no misunderstanding. What's the word she used?
Entanglement.
Entanglement, right? As if it throws you off. Entanglement. Some people might think, is that a form of baptism? People don't know. I'm just saying, like, it throws you off.
Yeah. No one used that word before to describe an affair, but Jada.
Yeah, she made it seem heavenly. You know what I'm saying? That's some bullshit. But
now, on another note, sorry, Perry, what'd you say?
I said, no, go ahead.
Oh, I didn't want to overtalk you. Because I go back and see some of the seen some of the tapes that we made, and I always overtalk Perry, and someone's always in the chat saying, shut up, let him finish. So I'm trying not to do that anymore. But so today, Jayden Smith posted this on his social media. I guess he was having a bad day. And then he says, then my boyfriend played a show the day I fly to Korea. People are saying this is coming out. I don't care about, okay, I don't want to be mean. I just don't want to hear anything from the Smiths for a while. I don't care if you're gay. I don't care. It's you. Something about her children. They're very strange to me. You know, we've known, and you're not shocking us, Jayden. I just knew a long time ago. And so is, now Willow hasn't come out yet, but I bet you she is too. I don't care. Y'all just go away. The whole family. Thank you, Trish, for becoming a member. I appreciate it. The whole family's weird to me, Will included. I don't want to hear about Will. I just want things to go back to the way they were. Like, I don't know anything about you guys, nothing about your sex life, nothing about your entanglements. Just get off TV for a while, please. And MTV, I'm starting to watch MTV because the new Mona Scott shows are over there, and I don't want to run into these freaks. Is that bad? Okay, and then that's all I have to say about them. Perry, you got anything to add?
No need. Yeah. Everybody know they business.
My freaks, they're weirdos. Except for, well, I haven't heard much about Trey, but maybe Trey is different because he was raised by Cherie. That's really mean what I just said. I apologize for that. But anyway, you guys are weird. Let's move on. The final story is going to be about Brittney Griner. I never heard Brittney Griner speak. She has a deep voice. She doesn't. I thought it would be light and airy, but anyway, she's. This is her first press conference. Let me go ahead and put that up. And let me just say this: So the rumors is that she can't be around large crowds, and it took a while to get back into society. She had been locked up for over a year by herself. She doesn't speak the language. She had an interpreter come in, when her lawyers were there and stuff like that. But she was very isolated for a year in a cage in a different country. So I'm just shocked that she's playing basketball again so soon. But let's take a listen to this.
For me, I'm never going overseas to play again unless I'm representing my country at the Olympics. If I make that team, that would be the only time I would leave the U.S. soil, and that's just to represent the USA. I'll say this, the whole reason a lot of us go over, is the pay gap. A lot of us go over there to make an income to support our families, to support ourselves. So I don't knock any player that wants to go overseas and make a little bit extra money. I'm hoping that our league continues to grow, and with as many people in here right now covering this, I hope you continue, like I said, to cover our league, bring exposure to us. I hope a lot of these companies start to invest in our craft, because as you'll see this season, if you haven't watched before, we have.
So she has a point. So she's saying she didn't go over there to visit. She wasn't there for vacation. She's saying the WNBA does not get paid nearly what the NBA gets paid. Here we go again in America. There's a big difference between men and women.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, she's her whole life has changed, and I can't say I blame her. Perry, I can't even close my eyes and dream about being locked up in Russia, of all places. Like,
I couldn't either.
Yeah, I feel bad for her. I mean, I just am surprised that she's even playing again, because I would just be shell shocked. Like, I get frustrated. You get frustrated, Perry, when we go to Mexico and you can't speak Spanish.
Yeah.
It's frustrating. Can you imagine? The rules are different over there. You're a hostage, and it's just, so we hope that things do change between the WNBA and the NBA. But here's the thing. I'm all about women getting equal pay, what our counterparts are getting paid. But they're saying that not enough people go to the WNBA games.
That's the problem. It's not as big, Sharrell. It's like, you can want fairness for anything, but you can't have a little small store on the corner and expect them to get the same benefits as Walmart.
But what do you think would happen if you combined it like the wrestlers do? The women come out first, the men go second.
I don't think they would make no extra money by doing that.
You think people wouldn't show up? They would just wait
start coming, just like a regular fight. Some people don't walk into the main event.
Yeah.
And that's going to, really slap women in the face. Well, we played and had 10 people. When the guys come on, now it's full.
Mm-hmm. Well,
so, I mean, it is what it is. But, I mean, not every occupation going to pay the same. And it's not saying because it's man or woman like the basketball. It's just more people want to go and see men basketball than women.
But now I gotta go to Russia to make extra money.
No, I mean, you don't have to go. You just don't make the money. Ex-NBA players go to overseas to make the money when they can no longer make it here in the United States. You know that, like Iverson go here. That they go to different countries, Spain, a lot of places. Right?
It's true. Mm-hmm. That's true. But I don't know. It's a lot.
I mean, but I do believe, I don't want people taking it the wrong way, that women and men should have equal rights. But we talk about a job. My job ain't gonna pay with your job because you make $50,000. I should say, well, shit, I should have the same right you got. I don't have that job. Yeah. Okay.
Selena, what happened when you went to Jerry Springer, girl? What happened?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
We can now.
Okay, so I went and got on the bus in New York to 34th Street because the bus took us there all the way to.
Wait, what bus? What bus? What bus?
It was like a bus that takes you like to Jerry Springer and Maury and Steve Wilkos. It picks you up
Oh,
on 34th Street, and then I just went there and I got on,
wait,
and
was it
he
in
always said,
Chicago?
She
it's in
said New York.
Connecticut.
Oh, Connecticut.
Oh, Connecticut?
Oh,
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah. So we got there, and they so you first come in, it's like a whole Jerry Springer, like he got his pictures and stuff on the wall, and he got merchandise. So then you sit there in like the waiting area until like it's time to go live. Then we sit there. It's really small. Like it's really like a small studio. It don't look as big as it do on TV. It's not tiny. And
Oh,
we sit there, and they have like a Suzanne, like that
uh-huh.
be like on Woody, and like he tells us like to get up, and he'd be like clap, and he'd be like Jerry, 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 all that type of stuff. And then like he come out before the show started, and he saw us talking to the people, and just introduces himself, so us giving like a background of himself and all that. And then that's when the show starts. So then the show starts, and then so it's like a regular. So when somebody comes, they sit there. Then after they come sit there, they tell their story, their little side story, and we gotta go like boo and all that type of
So
stuff.
wait, Selena, you got caught up in the madness. You were cheering Jerry. Jerry, were you doing that?
yep.
Yeah, it
I can
was
see it.
fun. Yeah, it was fun. And so then like if you don't like something, they go like boo and all that type
Yeah.
of stuff. And then the people come out and then they start getting at it. Boo. It's like once it's like the security guards is sitting in the front of the audience, and then they start fighting the beach. Listen, boom,
Well,
stage
let
is
me
going
ask
up.
you this, Selena. Were you expecting a fight?
Yeah, I had to. That's how the show. Yeah, they be getting it on. Like they was getting it on. And then Jerry, he stands on the stairs and he just, he be mad sarcastic. He just be standing there. And then like at the end of the show, he says what he has to say. And then like the audience, they start arguing with the guests on the show. And it was fun because we had like the teenagers, and the teenagers was like arguing back with the audience. And it was like, come on, like come up here, like what you want to do? Like it was fantastic. And then he brought like everybody in the audience some pizza.
I like Jerry. He fit in with the young crowd. I just really liked him. And so they said that he didn't tell anyone he was sick. He seen Steve Wilkos uh, a couple weeks before he passed. Steve didn't even know he was sick. I was watching his last interview. He didn't tell people that he had cancer.
Yeah, I know it's sad. I was very sad because like, and then I bought a shirt from his show. I got a green security shirt. He saw my shirt. Like I was happy. I'm sad. I was so sad today.
Let's start with the new people. Hi, Melissa. Can you hear me? You're on mute.
See.
Can you hear us, Melissa?
Yes.
Okay. What do you want to sound off on today? Welcome. Is this your first time? Okay. She blinked out. Okay. Let's start with another new person. Hi, Sandra. How are you?
Hello, can you hear me?
Very well. Sound
Oh,
off.
yes. So first of all, I do want to extend my most heartfelt condolences to Jerry Springer and his family. His show, looking at his show and the people that he brought on his show, it made me feel better about my life personally, and made me yeah, it made me feel that hey, my life's not that bad. So yeah,
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure everybody felt like that. I actually want to sound off on Brittney Griner.
Hmm.
She actually played high school ball here in Houston, where
Oh,
I'm at, and
okay.
she went to college at Baylor. And I'm still praying for. I'm praying for her. I'm praying for her recovery because, PTSD is real, everybody.
Real,
And
yeah.
like you were saying, I don't know if I could have survived as long as she did in a
Hmm.
Russian prison. Like you're
Hmm.
in a foreign country, you're away from your family and your friends, you don't know the language,
Yep.
and you're really not allowed to talk with anyone. So I'm really praying for her. And then for the people in the comments that were speaking about her voice has always been that deep. It's
I was
always been
shocked.
that deep. Yeah.
I didn't know her voice. I never heard her speak. So I
Yeah.
didn't know. I was like,
Sharrell,
whoa.
I'm
Yeah.
so
Yes.
sorry to interrupt, but you got to think about it. You see how tall she is. She doesn't have a lot of estrogen in her body. She has more testosterone.
Yeah.
You know, she doesn't have probably, she may not have even, I mean, and I'm speculating, but a lot of times, you know, she may not have had like a menstrual cycle
Oh my
or
God, Jennifer,
anything.
stop. You need to
Um,
stop. We
no,
don't
I'm being
know.
serious. I'm being serious because, like, with how deep her voice is, she probably has more testosterone than estrogen.
My niece is like that. My niece is like that.
So that's true? Because it
Yeah.
sounds like I don't want to like offend anybody.
No, it's not offensive. It's it depends on who you talk to.
All right. Go finish. Sandra, go ahead.
Yeah, so, and as far as for the Smiths, Jada and Will, they've always been what I call a very peculiar family. And I
Mhm.
remember like a couple of years ago, I think people started a petition to get them to stop talking about their business because they were just like, I really do believe there was an online petition started because people just wanted them to shut up.
Me
I
too.
mean,
I do too.
yeah,
Go
I
ahead.
mean, I can understand you wanting to share and be transparent, but they just took it overboard and that was like, yeah, that was a lot. Yeah.
Yeah,
But and
yeah.
I do think the only one that is really normal is the oldest boy. Like you really don't see him a lot. You know,
Trey.
he's not on Trey because he was raised by Sharif. I
Free,
think that's
yeah.
her name.
Mhm.
Yeah, so yeah, I think he's like the normal one out of all the
That's
kids.
so mean, but
But
it's
Yeah,
they
true.
from
I don't
reality.
mean to be mean like that, but I mean they are a very peculiar family,
They're
and I'm putting that really
weirdos.
nice. Yeah, I'm putting it really
Yeah,
nice.
yeah.
Yeah.
She could have kept the whole August Alsina story. Anyway, welcome back, Melissa. You were speaking and you got cut off. What sound off?
Oh, I'm so sorry. In regard to, I forget her name, the one that was overseas and she was detained for over a year. Brittney, I do feel sad for her because I also suffer from PTSD. So it is real. I do not like to leave my house a lot of the time unless I really have to, but I have to work at it. So you have to like tell me in advance if I have to go somewhere. It takes about a week for me to get it in my head that I have to go from point A to point B.
And can it occur anywhere, right? Even you could just
Yes.
yeah.
I could be in the car and all of a sudden something comes up. Because I have to take medication for it. So
yeah. Does it help?
yeah, I mean, yes. Most of the time it does. It's not as bad. You know, I was talking to my daughter last night about a situation that caused me to have PTSD at the time. And she's like, Mom, you don't have to talk about it. And I'm like, okay, I'll be fine. It gets better over time, but I still have to prepare myself if I have to do something or go somewhere. It's it can be hard at times. And
do you think that Brittney can ever live a normal life again?
I mean, you can be functional. You'll never get rid of PTSD. I don't. There's no way that she's going to be able to. She's not going to be able to get rid of it. You have to just deal with it, but you have to deal with it on a different level. I had to leave my state in order to even feel a little bit normal.
Wow. Yeah. It's terrible. I mean, well, you know, some people say she brought it on herself. I heard it was a little bit of
she was talking smack as far as like
Brittney was talking smack.
I mean, a little bit before all this happened about her she wasn't showing up for the U.S. She was talking smack about the U.S., but I feel like the experience has humbled her.
Well, yeah, I would imagine so.
I think.
Hey, Opinion, how you doing, girl?
Hey, Sharrell, how you doing?
Good. Sound off. What you want to sound off on today?
Let me tell you something. Steve Harvey comes off like a good guy, but it's always something hiding behind him. I feel like it's always something there. Like he puts himself out there too well. Like, oh, I'm gonna take care of all the kids and I'm gonna do this camp for kids. And I'm like, why you need to do the camp for the kids? Like I never seen a psychologist or nothing that was gonna be helping him with these camps. And
wait a minute. He's supposed to be holding a camp for children. I can't.
You know, no, he got a camp for little boys. It's called the Steve Harvey Retreat Camp. And I remember when my older kids were younger, my mom was talking about, I was like, no, we're not sending them. I don't know who's gonna be there with them. Like, no man is gonna watch my kids. I'm sorry. Just not gonna happen.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, like something is off by that. And I didn't ever see no women come forward. I didn't see no doctors that did the camp. Now, I don't know nothing about the camp, so I can't say whether it worked or not, but he talked about it a lot. But I just felt like it was always the cover of something else. You know what I'm saying? Like,
why is he lying on Bernie? Why is he talking about Mary?
This is the thing. Whenever you want to look better, you have to bring somebody else down, or at least they think they do.
Mm-hmm.
Like if your work speaks for itself, you wouldn't have to bring somebody else's down. Like if your wife took all that from you, but you happy in your life now, why is that bothering you so much?
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's ridiculous. I think he handled the divorce worse than anybody else I've seen in a long time. And he's still talking about it. He gets on my damn nerve. Now, he does have a good show, his radio syndicated show. But when he starts talking...
Well, that's because those people he got on there, though. Is it really him?
I like Uncle Tom. Yeah, I like those people, Tommy and stuff like that. Even Shirley.
And we need to send somebody to save Will Smith because let me tell you, he changed ever since he been with Jada. So, yeah, I mean, for real, do you remember Will that he was before?
Are we willing to cross the line and say, now you got to think about it, opinion, is Will Smith turned into a weirdo too?
Well, I wouldn't say a weirdo, but he's treading the lines. Like, we need to save him immediately because it was so out of character for him to slap, you know, him on stage like that, that it took people by surprise because who would have thought this man for 30-some years has been on TV and has never done anything like that. And for her to sit there and smirk about it, and then she just turn on him too, like your wife is supposed to be your better half. You know what I'm saying? Like, through thick and thin, I'm gonna hold mine down, even if he's wrong.
Yeah.
Sharrell, can I say something really quick on that?
Yeah, go ahead.
As far as the Will, his son coming out, I commend anyone who comes out as trans, anybody in the LGBTQIA community. I
mean,
I'm a part of that community.
I usually do too, but his parents have gotten on my nerves so bad.
Yes, me too. No, I have gotten on my last nerve. We already knew he was gonna come out. I already knew he was. I already knew that he was coming out. I'm really waiting for his sister to come out.
Exactly.
I do feel like the oldest son, he's not out there because of his mother. His mother knows they're crazy. The whole family is.
I want to clear this up. I'm saying they're weird, not because they're gay.
Oh no,
it's something about them. They're weird.
I just wish they wouldn't put their business out on Front Street like that.
It's because Jada and her mama is weird. That's why they weird.
Well, what am I feeling, Selena? Let's break it down. Why are they weird to us? People have affairs, but I didn't care about her entanglement. I did. It's the way she presented it. And I had a little entanglement. No, girl, you were having an affair. You have an open marriage. Just say it. And they lied to us for years about this open marriage. For years. Not that I care what people do in their bedroom. Why bring it up if you don't want to talk about it? You know what I mean? I don't know.
Because you feel like people can relate to her.
I can't with her. I think she's lying about having alopecia.
Me too. I for sure.
No, she is lying. She is lying.
Yeah. Isn't that terrible? I don't even believe the girl have alopecia. You shaved your hair bald for attention, and you look dumb that night because you were snickering. So now you want to talk about alopecia. You never talked about alopecia before the slap.
I 100% agree with you, Sharrell. 100%.
She never talked about dry scalp, none of that shit. No, let's keep it real.
Worm, none of it.
Mm-hmm. She had a full head of hair on a different world. She was not going bald. Like she shaved her head. She did not have nothing.
She did. And that's a twisted person. You shaved your head because that's what you wanted to do. Then the slap comes and everybody said, were you laughing? No, he was making fun of me because of alopecia. Wasn't making fun of me because we hooked up before. So, that's what I heard. But anyway.
Well, I know with alopecia, you can have a full head of hair and your hair starts to fall out. But like you said, Jada never mentioned. Only reason I don't believe her is because she never mentioned it until after the slap. Like it was a defense for why she got mad. You know what I'm saying? It
Right.
wasn't, before it seems like she would have brought. Although people said she did mention it, but I never heard it.
I never heard it. Val, you are out of line. Bald head liar. Bonji, sound off, Bonji.
Hey, Sharrell. Okay, on her show, she didn't mention alopecia, but she said her hair was thinning. So those are two different things.
Very two different, yeah.
Okay, so if we're talking about Steve Harvey, I listened to that Shannon interview. You should have heard me in my car telling him the lies.
The lies.
When he was talking about, I met Marjorie after I got
hold on, Bonji. This is people in the chat are saying she doesn't have alopecia. That's called dry scalp. Y'all are messy. Go ahead.
That's worse than what I'm saying.
I'm about to Google alopecia symptoms.
Well, alopecia, you don't have to cut your hair off because in alopecia, it's just in spots, and it's not even a big space where the hair is. It's more like it's a spot. Like you imagine if your hair was thinning and out, and you get these little bald patches. And the reason I know my mama used to have it, and so she used to have bald spots like in the top and on the side. And what she would do was the rest of her hair she would braid it up and put her sew-ins in, and you could never tell the difference. And where the bald spots was, that's what she would glue the tracks. But like it's not a big spot. It's not like where you got to shave your whole head off.
Damn.
Right, well, my aunt has it, but then I also knew a kid in high school and grade school that had it, and he had no hair, no eyebrows, no eyelashes. Like Norman Freeman. You guys have heard of Norman Freeman, right?
Yes.
He has alopecia, but like he has the extreme. My aunt has it. She has like opinions. Did you say your aunt opinion?
My mama.
Your mom. Like my aunt is like your mom, where it's just a spot. But I know it could be the extreme where you have like no hair.
Yeah,
Anyway,
but the extreme too would also have the extreme side effects too.
What do you mean?
When you have the extreme side effects, then you lose your face. You lose your eyebrows. All the face hair you have, it will be gone too. Cause
are you serious?
Yeah, if you have the extreme where all your hair's falling out, then your eyebrows, your eyelashes, anything that has hair, it's gonna be falling out too. It pretty much be bald.
That makes sense. Her eyebrows look
from head to toe.
Go ahead, Bonji. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
There's actually a congresswoman who was elected the same time as AOC. She's part of the squad in Congress. She has alopecia, and hers was so severe that she used to have her hair in braids. She went on like a recess and came back, and she was 100% bald, and decided to go bald as a way to raise awareness. So when I heard Jada lying through her Ray Table Talk, I thought of that congresswoman and thought it's not funny to lie about something that serious.
It's not. She's like Megan said, she's a narcissist.
And also her God forgive me, fame chasing mama should have done a good job of telling her when she was putting too much TMI out there. I have heard of people cheating, but I have never heard of somebody who capitalizes on their cheating, names them something, as Perry said, that sounds like a prayer, and then somehow expect us to feel sorry for her. A couple of years later, take advantage of us during the pandemic because we had nothing else to watch, so we were glued to that damn Red Table Talk.
It's been canceled, by the way.
A couple of years later, decide she is going to take offense to somebody calling her out on her BS, and then cause her husband to regret what he had been saying and doing all his life, because it was all just a show. And this is where I disagree with those that say that we didn't know that was Will Smith. Remember when, if you listen to the Red Table Talk, they talked about how when they did those 2 Oprah interviews, and Willow was whipping her hair back and forth.
Yeah.
Willow said on her mom's show, and the mom agreed, that during that time she was refusing to perform because they were forcing her to perform. And that's why after those interviews and Will booking her on on an international tour, she cut off her hair, because cutting off her hair was her way of saying, I don't want to keep singing this song with my hair back and forth. And if I cut my hair,
well, hold on, Bomb G. You're saying that Will Smith and Jada pulled a Joe Jackson and made Willow perform, and she shaved her head bald out of spite?
That's what she said on her mom's show on Red Table Talk.
Yes, she did. She made her do that. That with my hair song.
She said she didn't want to be out in the forefront performing and touring the world, but that's what her parents wanted for her, especially Will Smith. And he said yes. And he said he felt bad for actually forcing her, and as you say, becoming a Joe Jackson.
She's worse than I thought. Every time I think I can't hate Jada anymore, well, hate's a strong word, can't dislike her anymore, then something else crazy comes up. She's just, ooh.
That's
when she shaved her head, is when her daughter shaved her head.
Right,
So
they
I
had
don't
to
think
beg her not to cut her hair.
Maybe if Will divorces her and she goes away for a while, I will like the rest of the family again. But I'm taking my anger out on them, okay? Because I can't
divorce her.
Jada.
He can't divorce. He can't divorce her.
Why not?
Because the teacup. He's stuck with the teacup. He can't. He can't divorce her.
He can and he should. Like, I'm so over her. It's just her. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Bonji. So you were talking about Steve Harvey, who is just bad.
Steve Harvey, that interview with Shannon was just, well, first of all, Shannon Sharp is a great interviewer on that long form platform. And the way he methodically goes through someone's life, and then when he left the marriages to one end, and I couldn't believe when he asked Steve, so what made it that you guys didn't continue to do Kings of Comedy? And he made it seem like everybody wasn't getting along. And yet, as you said, Bernie's wife has said that it was because Steve was now jealous of Bernie. And if you watch Kings of Comedy, especially the first few tapings, you can tell that Cedric the Entertainer was hilarious. Bernie was hilarious. But Steve was not as funny as people think.
Exactly.
He was not. And that's how Steve ended up becoming the MC of the show. Because then he didn't have to really prepare sets, but then he would go out there and ad lib and then bring someone on. So when he was talking on that interview about him doing Showtime at the Apollo, that was something that he had been doing on the stand-up shows. And that's how he was discovered, and then got an opportunity for him to do that at the Showtime at the Apollo. He is so disingenuous, and one thing that's hard for me to forgive him for is how much he used his supposed life experience to steal so much money from Black women, trying to tell them that to be and have relationships and get married, they have to think like a man. That's one of the boldest, most boldest theories I've ever heard.
Okay, so this super chat says he had Mary Harvey arrested. Google it. So while I Googled it, and it's true. This man is horrible. He cheats on her takes her money, and then has her held in contempt of court. And they
After
arrest
he
her.
stole her son, for that matter.
After he and then he steals her son.
Yes.
Steve Harvey is the special kind of jackass. I mean, it just, oh my gosh. It says the former wife of entertainer Steve Harvey, this was in 2013, arrested Thursday after a judge found her in contempt of court. She remains in jail in Collins County. Oh my gosh.
Oh. I feel a type of way because I bought his book.
And Sharrell, this was around the same time where he, because he had the money, went to the lawyers and stopped her from. Remember the YouTube videos that she did to tell us what was going on and the history between them?
Yeah.
And how much she sacrificed for him to be successful, only for Marjorie to come and swoop in. Well, Steve also went on purpose.
That is so true.
If there's an interview I'm going to watch, it's this Tasha K interview because I want to hear what that man has to say. But I'm not paying that subscription though.
Oh, okay. I'll watch it for you. But wait, I know what he's going to say. I did a video about this. He's not too fond of Marjorie because Marjorie started cheating him. Well, we'll let the interview.
Did you catch the part where the ex-husband said, and she didn't even like big-lipped men? I was like, well, if the money's right, she'll like anything.
All right, Denzel, I don't know why I always get to you last. You were first today.
No, it's okay.
Yeah, really.
You want to? Do you want to hear something funny, Sharrell and Perry and everybody? I'm trying to find it. Hold on. Somebody. It's not. Well, it's funny. It's funny, but somebody said that the Smith family is
half
human and half reptilian.
Wow.
Like what the hell? What is wrong with people?
No.
I don't know, but I think it's maybe I'm taking my anger out on family. It's just Jada. Something about her,
Absolutely.
The way that she hung Tupac over his face, like, oh, he's my true love. He was better than you. Like, girl, oh my God. Just
because she didn't want to marry Will. Her mother didn't want her to marry her. She just
That's right.
Why not?
She didn't want him. She didn't want Jada for Will for some reason.
No.
Oh.
And
she
Jada
did not.
And Will didn't need her. Jada is a hood rat. She is a straight up hood rat from Baltimore.
Okay, yes. I am also from Baltimore. And let me just tell you.
A Jezebel?
Are you really from Baltimore?
I went to Western High School, an all-girls school. She was at a school of the arts. We were all in school at the same time. And I heard stuff about her way before then.
Stuff? My ears are going like this. Like what?
She is a hood rat. She's a user. Whatever. I feel like when it comes to Tupac, I feel like she took advantage of him a little bit.
You think Jada took advantage of Tupac?
Yes.
How is that?
She's an a-hole. She's an a-hole. I mean, we all came in those circles. Like
I believe it.
Western High School. Google it, whatever, an all-girl school. Not saying that there's anything wrong about being a little bit street. I'm a little bit street, but at the same time, you should know how to carry yourself correctly. And I feel like she could not. And I feel like Tupac was dumb enough to fall for that stuff. Period. End of story.
Well, but you gotta admit, Pac loved him some Jada. He did.
He did, and I think it messed her up wholeheartedly. But I don't think she was for Will. Like she wasn't trying to go. Really, no.
Will he too smart? He's
like
too
Will.
He's too
And
soft.
Will wants to have this image. They're not together for sure.
Oh, you think they're not together? Well, I don't even care, but I wouldn't be surprised if they're not. What do you mean, Selena? Will Smith is too soft? Didn't you see him slap Chris? No, I'm just kidding.
He did.
Sharrell.
No.
He is too soft. Like, cause look at Tupac. Like, Tupac was very demeanor, like for himself. He was like he could fight. Will Smith don't look like he could fight.
Tupac was out of his mind. Tupac is great for music, but who's gonna marry Tupac?
No.
Really, Sharrell?
Nobody would marry
Tupac.
No.
Oh, that's not nice.
I think Tupac was too forward for where he was.
I don't care what anybody says. Tupac would have been a horrible husband. He was not.
Sharrell, watch Dear
no,
Mama.
Sharrell,
Dear
no,
Mama,
no.
and
I feel like
see.
He seems like a cool dude.
Was a
Sharrell,
would have been a
womanizer.
good husband for
Sharrell.
Jada.
No,
But
no,
Yeah, he
Jada
no.
couldn't
shouldn't
come
have
to my
got
house
with
with
Will.
that damn Suge Knight. No,
Suge
no.
Knight.
Sharrell,
No.
What's that?
seriously, I've been watching Dear Mama. It's only 2 episodes in,
Mm-hmm.
but they
Oh,
said
that's right.
and what changed Tupac was when he he got arrested for no reason and beat up by the police.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Then
he
he
was
got
smart.
angry, but
Yeah.
all
Okay, I'm not
before.
gonna let y'all rewrite history.
No,
Tupac
they
was a
show
thug.
it.
No, his mama is telling the story.
They show it for real, Sharrell.
No, I believe that. But Tupac was a thug. Do you guys remember all the stuff he went
I don't
through?
think he was,
No,
but
he wasn't bad.
That's
He
the thing.
just a talker. He just talked.
Right.
too
right.
much.
Okay, first of all, Selena, you're too young, so I'm gonna cut off your camera. And Giselle, you're too young. And what y'all talking about? Tupac was always in some mess. He was.
But I
Tupac said
love
he'd get around.
I love me some Tupac. I was in Vegas the week after Tupac died. I was so sad because all they
Yeah.
played was Tupac. I stayed at MGM Grand. I was like, I'm supposed to be having fun.
Now that was a hard one. You
Yeah.
know, being my age, we lose a lot of celebrities and stuff like that. I didn't think he was gonna pass
I know.
because he had been
It's-
shot before.
It was sad.
Don't think
And
that
I'm
he's
2
different
years
from
younger than
Persona?
you, Sharrell, so
Don't
I know
think he's
exactly what
different.
you're talking about.
Yeah. Anyway, guys.
Okay,
Someone
so
said
Sharrell,
that
can I say one more thing?
Oh yeah, go ahead.
So have you heard the rumor that Will is with Dwayne Martin allegedly?
Yeah.
What now?
That they have a gay relationship. I believe it.
They have any?
Allegedly.
Okay, allegedly, but allegedly, yeah, I believe it.
That's been for
Ooh.
years.
You haven't heard that? Denzel?
Some people.
That's
No, some people.
years.
Some people are saying that.
They said
Tisha
it for
Campbell
years.
Martin is came out and kind of insinuated Will broke up their marriage.
Did she really?
Damn.
Yeah.
Well, that rumor has been out.
Remember?
Who child?
I wouldn't be shocked. I think they were into same sex. I think they had threesomes, and then you can change partners. They might even been, what are those people called? Swinging.
Swingers.
Well,
Yeah.
allegedly,
That's Hollywood.
the
That's
reason why
Hollywood.
J-Lo,
Hollywood.
the reason why J-Lo and Mark Anthony aren't together anymore because Jada and Mark Anthony had.
Yeah. I remember that.
It was on
Yeah.
that set. Yes,
Mhm.
and that's why. Yep.
But she would say on that no good show that I hope does not come to MTV, she said she was a sex addict. Do you guys
Yes,
do
she
you
did.
remember watching that episode?
Sort of sound like it. It sounds like she is.
Sharrell,
And
can
I
I
believe
say
that.
2 things?
Yeah, go ahead, Jennifer.
I want to say something. Okay, my cousin is Jada's cousin, and she's a Pinkett, my cousin.
I think you said something about this before. Go ahead.
No, those were those were my cousins that were on Black Ink, but
Oh, that's right, Black King.
same relation to Jada.
Okay.
It's her daughter, one of them. But anyway, my cousin, and now she looks just like Jada, just older. She introduced herself to Jada. Jada wanted nothing to do with her. And it's like looking in the mirror. I mean, I could send a picture to Perry. You guys would see it all over. So Jada's a a-hole.
Yes.
Jada's a total a-hole.
I believe
And
it.
then
I
also,
believe it.
my opinion about Bernie Mac and Steve Harvey is definitely, I agree with everyone about jealousy. And also, like with the Kings of Comedy, and Steve, exactly like Bonji said, he was the MC. He wasn't a king of comedy. Steve would come on there, call people up. Like, remember that leather jacket thing?
The leather
He took some
jacket.
guys' leather
Mhm.
jacket. And then also think about it, like Steve tries to force the funny. He really just tries to make himself funny, and then he has that laugh. He's like, yup, 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 you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He has that goofy laugh, but Bernie was authentically funny. He
So
didn't
you're
have
trying to
try.
say that Bernie Mac was the king of comedy. That
He was.
Mm.
All 3 of them, like DL,
Oh.
Cedric. Well, no, but Bernie Mac. I mean, that's my boy, fellow Chicagoan. But like, they were truly funny. Steve is not funny like that. He is not on their level.
Damn. Okay. Wow. Whoa. She didn't mince her words. They
You
are
should
not on his
never,
level.
never should talk ill will of the dead anyway when you're talking about something. So
Anyway,
I'm sad.
guys.
I really bought his book, Think Like a Man. Like I bought that book one time when it came out.
Bonji, don't say anything. She's young. She's young. Did you really buy the book?
Yeah, I bought the book. I went to see the movie.
Well, Cynthia Bailey listened to it. Look what it got her.
Ooh,
I was in high school.
Okay.
shade, shade.
Oh, listen. This has nothing to do with what we're talking about. But I have the people that I talked to about the housewives are telling me that Cynthia's on Ozempic.
She's on. She's on that.
Yeah, she's on it too.
You heard
Wow.
that? You heard it?
I'm
Opinion?
not
Oh
surprised.
no.
Yeah, it's they say it's going through all the housewives.
But you think about it, Sharrell. Cynthia was a model, and she did gain. And I don't have a problem with her size, but she gained a lot of weight. She wasn't her runway
I don't have
size.
a problem with you
Losing
using diet
weight.
supplements. That's
It's
good. But
right.
it's
It's
the
so Ozempic.
danger in it that's
Right.
scaring you.
Right, right.
Exactly.
So Sharrell,
Yeah.
can I say something?
Yeah, go ahead.
So okay, so I'm going through this whole transformation, whatever. I went to my doctor a couple months ago, and you know my sugar levels were going up or whatever. So I'm borderline diabetic. But then I heard about the Ozempic.
Uh-oh, you tried it.
Okay.
Go ahead, let us
No,
know.
I did not try it because,
Oh.
of course, my doctor put me on Trulicity, which is like maybe like it covers my insurance.
Okay.
I'm gonna tell you, it works.
How fast did you lose weight?
Well, no. I'm still losing. Because I'm a month in. Because you have to inject yourself in your like belly or whatever.
Oh my God. So you give yourself a
damn.
shot?
But I'm watching myself because I don't want to be in that category where, okay, something's wrong or whatever.
And you get too thin, but then you just stop. Why aren't these women just stopping?
And that's what I'm thinking. Like I'm trying to like gauge it to look at when should I stop? Like I only lost like 15 pounds, I think. I still have maybe 20 more to go.
So how do you inject yourself? I can't. Like, what do you
it
just
doesn't hurt. When you do it, it doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt.
It doesn't hurt. A needle doesn't hurt.
It doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt when you inject yourself. I inject myself in my belly each side every week.
Do you see how Perry's looking at you? Like,
Perry, don't look at me. I love you, Perry, because you like Perry. Don't do that.
So wait, you inject yourself once a week?
Once a week, every Saturday.
And how do you feel?
I'm fine. Like I wish it was faster.
Oh,
You guys, don't you think though, as fast as they lose weight, I wonder, are they using it like you're supposed to?
Well. Like, no, I get it. I've always eaten well. I feel like because I'm in menopause right now, it's
harder for you.
Like I think, and that was the demise of my relationship now is because you don't feel like doing anything. Like I got lazy. I didn't feel like because I gained all this weight, I didn't want to be intimate. Yeah. It's hard when you're just like you're fighting that.
Yeah.
I mean, my relationship is done right now because of it.
I mean, you're scaring Selena. She's a young woman here. You're saying, but we got to tell you the truth. Menopause is very hard.
I'm always like feeling if I'm gonna get like bulky like neck or whatever. I'm like I'm very more aware of what I'm doing, but it's for me. Like I'm not doing for anybody else, but for me. Because I want to be able to feel good.
Melissa, you've got to come back when you lose 15 more pounds, and we want to make sure you're still standing and you don't have any side effects.
Like I love you guys. Like of course I will.
All right.
It's important for me. It's important. Like it's not for anybody else but me. Really,
because
I'm like getting ready to move to Atlanta.
It's for you and these housewives. Name a housewife.
But I don't want Ozempic because I feel like Ozempic is like. I asked my doctor. I said, "Why did you not put me on Ozempic?" He was like, "No."
And like once.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, like once you stop using it, like the weight comes back.
Yes.
Well, no,
So
I'm very good about. I'm very disciplined.
But you're borderline diabetic, right?
Yeah,
You
for
said
sure.
so you're using it correctly.
right.
But I'm just saying, like, for these people that are not using it correctly,
Yeah.
like, once you stop using it, the weight is going to come back. And they
That's
tell
what they're
you,
saying.
that.
But they say you have more fat cells. And
Right.
so it's going to come back worse. But do we have any fat housewives anymore?
We never really
No.
did. They were thick.
I mean, no.
Yeah, they were thick. Yeah.
What was the woman's name from the girls trip? This last season that just came out. What was her name?
Heather.
Ooh.
Heather.
The one that was always like she was the Mormon.
Oh, Heather Gay.
Heather Gay.
Heather Gay.
Is she still got a little weight on her?
Yeah.
Oh, she got a lot of weight on her.
She's okay with
Yeah.
it. Like I want to be her. Like I want
to be her. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
You know what?
she's gonna do it in a minute. There's gonna be no fat housewives, and we're supposed to believe that all of this is real, that they're just normal people. No, they have turned into Hollywood vultures.
Right. And I don't want to. I don't want to go
Yeah.
there, but I want to be healthy. But I do. Coming up when I was married, I had to be a certain weight. I had to be going to the gym all the time, and it became abusive.
Yeah,
and I
well,
guess
wait.
that I still have that mentality. I'm trying to get out of that mentality though.
But are you gonna come back when you lose 15 more? So
I
we
don't
can
know. Like I
see if you're still up and walking and how you feel and all of that. Because they're saying there's all these side effects and everybody's doing it. And I don't have anything against people using supplements, but they're acting like if you take it more than a year, you're going to regret
I'm not going
it.
to take it more than a year for sure because I'm not going to do that. But I wanted to be healthy because I was getting because of the menopause, I was getting so big.
Yeah,
I did like it was ridiculous. Like it's like I was scared because I was like, I might drop dead one day because I'm getting so like the menopause is real. Like I'm in menopause right now.
Menopause is real. Welcome. No, I'm just like, welcome. Look at Perry. He knows nothing about it.
Thinking like August will be if a whole year. They say that if you didn't have a period for a whole year, you'll be fine. I'm waiting.
You're waiting.
Yeah, I'm waiting.
Go ahead, Selena.
I hope it doesn't.
Now, Selena, go ahead.
Well, I agree with the period for like a year. I'll take that. Take that.
All right, you guys, I'm going to wrap this up. I didn't even mean to stay on this long, and we didn't even have much to talk about today. We always talk about nothing.
It was a great show.
Well, Sharrell,
Yeah?
I want to have my friend let me know she just started Ozempic yesterday for diabetes.
Get her on for diabetes.
Oh, wow.
If we know anyone that's using it for a diet supplement, get them on the show. Let's talk to them. Let's ask them questions because is it as bad as the doctors are saying?
I've been seeing YouTube videos and doctors who have been talking on it says they'll do the verses and it's been fine.
Well, they put her on Ozempic versus any other medication because she is overweight.
Yeah, for sure.
But I wonder if the housewives are using it as it's prescribed or more often too.
Right, because you're only supposed to do it once a week. You're supposed to inject yourself once a week. So I don't know if I think that they are using it more than they're supposed to.
I do too.
Right, probably.
Can I ask you a question, Sharrell?
Okay.
Yeah.
I have
really quickly.
Type 2 diabetes. So I'm dialing my doctor right now. I'm just kidding.
Go ahead, really quickly, Denzel. Really quickly, I gotta go pick up my granddaughter.
Okay, is it a Hollywood thing?
No, it seems like regular women are using it. It's a woman thing.
Wow, that's sad. That's sad.
Sorry.
That's
Maybe
sad.
I don't know. It could be the new wonder drug. We'll find out. All right, you guys are going to end it here. This cracks me up. Welcome to menopausal women unite.
Welcome.
All right, guys. This has been a great conversation. Thank you so much for calling. I appreciate the call, guys. Another good show. Bye,
Good show.
opinion.
Yeah, thanks,
Bye.
everybody.
Bye. Have a
Bye,
blessed
Sharrell
day,
and Perry.
everybody.
Y'all have a blessed evening.
What'd you say, Perry?
Oh, no, I was telling Denzel later.
Okay. If I didn't get to your call backstage, I do apologize. I'm out of time. I want to thank everyone for your super chat. You don't support the channel, but you do appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. Please don't forget to click that like button on your way out. And possibly I could do members only tonight. If not tonight, definitely tomorrow night. On 3, Perry, let's say bye. 1, 2, 3. Bye, guys.
Bye, everybody.